Well, Christine, I must say your dress looks rather extravagant. Did you really have to overspend on something so unnecessary? Valerie, it's my wedding day and I wanted to feel special. I would hope that my mother in law would be supportive of me. Well, I am supportive. I just hope that you're not bankrupting my son with your excessive spending. Valerie, that's not fair. Chad and I have been splitting expenses all along, including the wedding. I have my own income and savings too. This day is about celebrating love, not criticizing each other. Celebrating love, more like celebrating your ability to spend money you don't have. I have seen through your charade, Christine. You're just a gold digger taking advantage of my son's generosity. Valerie, I am not a gold digger. I have never asked Chad for anything beyond love and support. I have my own dreams and ambitions, and I work very hard to achieve them. Oh, please. We all know the truth, Christine. Your job is just an excuse to cover up your desire for luxury. You think we're blind, but we can see right through you. Valerie, I don't expect you to understand or believe me, but I am proud of my accomplishments and the life I have built for myself. I don't need validation from you or anyone else. Today is my wedding day, and you need to respect that. Your wedding day? It won't last, Christine. Mark my words. Chad will soon realize the mistake he made, and you will be left with nothing but an empty bank account. Valerie, I may not have your approval, but I don't need it. I'm confident in my life for Chad and in myself. I won't let your negativity ruin my happiness. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a wedding to enjoy. My name is Christine, and I was a 28-year-old woman. I had been dating Chad for 3 wonderful years. Our relationship was smooth, and we shared a love for traveling that brought us closer together. It was during one of our adventures exploring the vibrant streets of a foreign city that I realized I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Chad. Of course, we had had multiple conversations about this, and it really felt like a beautiful possibility. Chad came from a wealthy family and had a high paying job, which allowed him to spoil me with extravagant gestures. At first, he insisted on paying for most of our expenses, from lavish dinners to luxurious vacations. While I appreciated his generosity, I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable with the uneven financial dynamic in our relationship. I wanted to contribute and share the responsibility for our expenses. After I graduated and secured a good job, I approached Chad about my concerns. I expressed my desire to split expenses and suggested that we move in together. It was a logical step for us as a committed couple, and it would also allow us to truly merge our lives. Chad, being the understanding and supportive partner that he was, agreed to my idea. We found a beautiful apartment that captured our dreams and symbolized the start of our shared future. Moving in together was both exciting and nerve-wracking, as it marked a significant milestone in our relationship. As we settled into our new home, we were really happy and excited. We reveled in the simple pleasures of waking up together, sharing breakfast, and coming home to each other after a long day. Our lives intertwined seamlessly, and it felt like the natural progression of our relationship. Splitting expenses equally not only eased the financial burden on Chad, but also gave me a sense of independence. We divided our bills, rent, and grocery expenses, which fostered a balanced partnership. We learned to budget together, saving for our future goals, such as a dream vacation or a down payment for a house. It was a mutual commitment that deepened our connection and allowed us to grow as a couple. Everything was going so well as we were planning my first meeting with Chad's parents. I was excited, but little did I know that it would turn out to be rather challenging experience. Chad's parents, Valeria and Marcus, had a reputation for being judgmental, and unfortunately, they lived up to it during our encounter. As we sat down for dinner at their elegant home, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of nervousness. The atmosphere was formal, and I sensed an underlying tension. Valeria's gaze made me uneasy, and Marcus seemed distant and uninterested. It was evident that they had reservations about me. During the course of the evening, their disapproval began to surface. So, Christine, how did you and Chad meet? We actually met through mutual friends at a party. We instantly hit it off. Interesting. And how long have you been together? It's been 3 years now. We have shared some amazing experiences together. Let me be straightforward with you. Are you with him for his money? What? Oh, no, not at all. Our relationship is built on love and shared values. Money has never been a driving factor for me.
We have seen Chad spoil you with extravagant gifts and trips. It's hard not to wonder.
I appreciate his generosity, but I'm uncomfortable with the uneven financial dynamic. That's why we decided to split expenses equally. Splitting expenses? That's surprising. Well, after I graduated and found a job, I wanted to contribute. It felt fair to share the financial responsibilities as a committed couple.
But do you really pay your fair share? We have noticed you're spending on makeup and skincare. Is Chad funding that?
No, I pay for my own expenses, including cosmetics. I value financial independence and responsibility. It's hard for us not to be skeptical, Christine. We want the best for Chad. I understand your concern, but I assure you that my intentions are genuine. I love Chad for who he is, not for his financial status.
Come on, Mom, Dad, give her a break. Well, we just hope you're making the right choice.
We'll see how things unfold, won't we? I hope you'll give me a chance to prove myself. I truly care about Chad, and I am committed to building a loving and equal partnership with him.
It's fine, babe. They're just worried about me. No hard feelings. They'll come around.
We'll see, Christine. We'll see. They were insinuating that my intentions with Chad were purely financial. It was a hurtful accusation that caught me off guard, as I had never expected to be judged so harshly. What stung even more was Chad's reaction. Instead of defending me, he brushed off their comments, downplaying the severity of the situation. The judgment continued throughout the evening, with Valeria and Marcus taking every opportunity to criticize me. They fixated on my spending habits, particularly on makeup and skincare products. They assumed that these indulgences were financed by Chad and interpreted them as evidence of my alleged gold-digging tendencies. I tried my best to explain that I paid for these items myself. I wanted to convey that my relationship with Chad was based on love and shared values rather than material gain. However, my explanations seemed to fall on deaf ears. To my dismay, Chad still didn't come to my defense. He remained silent most of the time, his lack of support reinforcing his parents' negative opinions about me. It felt like a betrayal, leaving me feeling isolated and disheartened. It was a distressing experience, one that cast a shadow over our relationship. Little did I know that this encounter was just the beginning of a chaotic journey filled with unexpected twists and turns. 6 months had passed since that fateful evening with Chad's parents. Chad surprised me with a heartfelt proposal, and I couldn't contain my joy. We began planning our engagement party, eager to celebrate our love with family and friends. However, as the preparations unfolded, Valeria and Marcus continued to cast a shadow upon our joyous occasion. It felt as if they were determined to undermine my presence in their son's life at every turn. I made a conscious decision to pay for my share of the engagement party and wedding ceremony. It was important to me that I contribute and showcase my independence. I wanted to prove to everyone, including Chad's parents, that my commitment to our relationship was not fueled by financial gain. But unfortunately, Chad's parents were not the only people who believed that I was in it for the money. My extended family shared the same thought. They believed that I was financially dependent on Chad, which weighed heavily on my heart, adding to the emotional burden I carried. Amidst the planning and the mounting pressure, my sadness became increasingly apparent to my mother. She saw the toll that the misunderstandings were taking on me. In a moment of motherly wisdom, she urged me to have a serious conversation with Chad. He's your partner, Christine. You need to share your feelings and concerns openly. Let him know the weight you're carrying and give him a chance to understand. Her words resonated deeply within me. I knew that it was time to have an honest and vulnerable conversation with Chad. I needed him to understand the impact his parents' judgments were having on me, and I hoped that he would offer the support I so desperately longed for. And so I sat down with Chad, pouring out my heart. I expressed the emotional toll that the constant criticisms had taken on me. I spoke of my desire for us to be a united front, to stand together against the doubts and judgments of others. Chad listened attentively and held my hand. He was gentle, but still, Chad dismissed their actions as mere jokes, downplaying the impact they had on me. He assured me of his love, emphasizing that his loyalty lay with me, not with his parents' opinions. While his words provided a glimmer of comfort, I couldn't help but feel a lingering doubt and a sense of isolation. It still felt like something was wrong. As the wedding planning progressed, the stress escalated due to Valerie and Marcus's continued interference. Their criticism seemed to find new targets in every aspect of the preparations. They questioned my choices and insinuated that I was frivolously overspending on the wedding. The constant negativity from Chad's parents took its toll on my self esteem. I yearned for their acceptance, for them to see the love that Chad and I shared, but nothing worked. On the day of the wedding, the tension hung thick in the air as Valeria couldn't resist making a cutting comment about my dress and makeup.
Well, well, Christine, I must say your dress looks rather extravagant. Did you really have to overspend on something so unnecessary?
Valerie, it's my wedding day and I wanted to feel special. I would hope that my mother-in-law would be supportive of me.
Well, I am supportive. I just hope that you're not bankrupting my son with your excessive spending.
Valerie, that's not fair. Chad and I have been splitting expenses all along, including the wedding. I have my own income and savings too. This day is about celebrating love, not criticizing each other.
Celebrating love, more like celebrating your ability to spend money you don't have. I have seen through your charade, Christine. You're just a gold digger taking advantage of my son's generosity.
Valerie, I am not a gold digger. I have never asked Chad for anything beyond love and support. I have my own dreams and ambitions, and I work very hard to achieve them.
Oh, please.
We all know the truth, Christine. Your job is just an excuse to cover up your desire for luxury. You think we're blind, but we can see right through you. Valerie, I don't expect you to understand or believe me, but I am proud of my accomplishments and the life I have built for myself. I don't need validation from you or anyone else. Today is my wedding day, and you need to respect that. Your wedding day? It won't last, Christine. Mark my words. Chad will soon realize the mistake he made, and you will be left with nothing but an empty bank account. Valerie, I may not have your approval, but I don't need it. I'm confident in my life for Chad and in myself. I won't let your negativity ruin my happiness. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a wedding to enjoy. Her words were laced with subtle disdain, as if she were determined to belittle my choices and imply that I had overspent once again. That was the last straw for me, and I finally spoke up. I refused to be confined by their judgments and took a stand for my autonomy and my right to express myself. Valeria seemed momentarily taken aback. It was a small victory, a moment where I asserted my word. Little did I know that it wouldn't last too long. It seemed like I had struck a nerve, because Valeria became more and more intimidating, even threatening, really fast. Valeria pulled me to the center of the venue and caught the attention of all the guests that were there. She spoke openly about how I had claimed to pay for my half of the wedding. Then she went on to question Chad. Chad, are you saying that you don't make enough to cover for your bride? What's happening, son? The way she phrased it was very malicious. She knew all of Chad's rich friends were there, and they were already judging Chad for marrying someone without a wealthy background. All eyes turned towards Chad, awaiting his response. I held my breath, hoping that he would defend our shared contributions and stand up for our partnership. But to my disbelief and heartbreak, Chad looked embarrassed and chose to lie. He claimed that he had indeed paid for everything, throwing me under the bus without hesitation. At that moment, I felt a surge of emotions wash over me, betrayal, anger, and a profound sense of hurt. It seemed as though the love we had shared, the promises we had made, were crumbling before my eyes. The weight of his deception on such a significant day felt crushing, leaving me questioning the foundation of our relationship. When Chad said that, everyone turned to me and started laughing as if I was a joke. I couldn't bear to stay in that moment of humiliation any longer. With a heavy heart, I walked out. As I stepped outside, my mother ran after me. She wrapped her arms around me. Her presence reminded me of the strength within me, encouraging me to prioritize my well-being above all else. My mother's support reminded me of the love that surrounded me, which was a reminder that I deserved respect and understanding. After all, I was belittled as the terrible bride who left her man at the wedding. Everyone seemed to be turning their back on me in a moment of frustration, and with the intention of setting the record straight, I decided to share a Facebook post that captured all the bills I had paid and even my bank statement. I was trying to shed light on the truth behind the financial contributions to our wedding. As the post gained traction, it quickly went viral. Some people even left a comment with a video of Valerie trying to turn me into a laughingstock. The online community rallied behind me, offering messages of support, empathy, and encouragement. In the wake of the online firestorm, Valeria reached out to me, desperately begging me to take down the video. However, the damage had already been done. The video had been shared and multiplied by too many people, and the consequences of her actions were now irreversible.
I did eventually delete the video, but that didn't change much. The reputation of their family business suffered greatly, as people refused to support a company associated with such mean-spirited and cowardly individuals. The public's disdain for their actions led to a significant decline in support, causing their business to go bankrupt in just a few months. Chad, on the other hand, never apologized. He even blamed me for making his family look bad and told me to suck it up. I knew that was a sign for me to leave. I made the difficult decision to leave Chad and file for divorce. It became clear to me that our relationship had been tainted by toxic dynamics of his family. I realized that I deserved a love that embraced respect, trust, and equal partnership. With unwavering determination, I shifted my focus towards rebuilding my life. I immersed myself in my business and prioritized my personal growth. The resilience within me pushed me to reclaim my independence, chart a new path forward, and create a life that aligned with my values. Through the pain and adversity, I discovered an inner resilience and determination that pulled me forward. I knew that I had walked away from a toxic environment, embracing a future filled with peace, growth, and the love that I truly deserved.